recording. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Welcome back to my stream of a messy, messy, messy world. Please, messy, messy world. Did we talk about chapter 3? I can't remember. I'm doing the Stalking the Wild Pendulum book again. And I'm getting a foot cramp. And I just got on the bus. I just read like a whole bunch, so I need to go to my YouTube channel real quick and we gotta find out what the last chapter was that we read. I think it was the one before 3 or it was 3. I can't quite remember. But that's okay. I gotta move some stuff around. Anyways. My hair's kind of crazy, huh? Let's take it out. My hair's been up all day anyways. Well, not like that, but like I had it up in a different way. And then on my way home, it was so windy. I was just like, no, we're not going to play the game of it getting even more messy. But it definitely messied my hair still a little bit, which is fine. I'm home anyways. It doesn't really matter. I was definitely getting a little bit of a headache there. Okay. Let's go to... I want to go into this. Maybe I should just go to my channel. I wanted to manage my videos, but I probably should just go to the videos in general and see. Because I have the... playlists. That's what I want. I want a playlist. How was your guys' day? Work was great for me. It was so busy. Monday went by so bad. Monday was Mondaying. I was making all the smallest mistakes today. Okay. Whoa. No, not the first one. You know what? We'll just make this the first of something new. Because, like, those are just, like, random ones of a bunch of random stuff. So, to this is going to be the very first of the CIA documents of this one. We're just going to start over. I'll give, like, a general synopsis. Because I think in one of those videos I definitely talked about the first chapters. But we'll just go over them anyways, because that way I'll know where I'm at. So, let's get some food. We'll talk about this book. And I'll make sure to have it also, the book linked. Let me bring up Stalking the Wild Pendulum so you guys can find it if you want to read it. I'm reading mine through my library on Libby. But, you know, you can find it wherever. It's just easier for me to listen to the book because, like, I like to listen to books more than I like to actually read them. It's only $13, truthfully, the book is, so. And it's really interesting. I've been really enjoying it so far. And I'm into chapter 5, which I don't think is very far into the book itself. Actually, let's see. Let's Google real quick. How many chapters are in the book Stalking the Wild Pendulum? Let's see what Googly says. Copilot. I say Googly, but I totally use Microsoft Bing. 193 pages. Okay, so I technically got through the hardest part of the book, which is the first 4 chapters, which I actually remember them talking about that. So it is very thought-provoking. The exact chapter count isn't specified. The book covers fast. Okay. Well, over 4 chapters, and I'm in chapter 5, okay? And I know I'm not that far into the book. But 193 pages, so, you know. It is what it is. I don't know if you guys like reading books, but I like listening to books. So if you're not a big reader, I'm not here to like be like, you have to read it. I'm understanding it, I think, better listening to it, truthfully. Who likes to, like, I think reading, like, hand reading books is, like, way more interesting for books of, like, not truity. What am I trying to say? My brain's fried too right now, which is so funny because this book is really technical, and I'm about to try and talk about it. I really rammed myself today. I, like, woke up and I was like, I'm gonna start learning Spanish again. And then, like, on my way to work, at, like, 6 a.m., I decided to listen to my Spanish education, like, thingies. And then I worked, and it was Monday, and it was crazy. It was crazy-ass Monday. Just for me to be, like, on the way home to read this intense book about physics and science and the mysteries of the world. And now I'm going to tell you guys about it on my stream. And then after my stream, I have to get ready for bed so I can wake up at 4 a.m. Yay! I love it for me. Go, Leah, for frying your brain out. If I wasn't doing this, though, I'd be totally looking into, like, I just saw, like, a house, like, pop up over here. And I was like, ooh, I wonder how much that costs. Because, like, I need to move, but, like, rent is crazy. And I'm just like, maybe it's, like, just as cheap to, like, be buying a house right now as it is to be renting. Like, how is it that rent is, like, oh, hello! E. Drake 1. What are books? What are those? Are those the heavy paperweights that have something? Yeah, they also come on your phone, and they're digital information that can be read to you through your earlobes. These little fancy things are like your brain takes it in without you having to use your eyeballs. Your ojos. You know? It's quite nice. This is my ball of ramen and 3 eggs. That's where I'm at. My bowl of ramen. And I'm so hungry, I just drooled on myself. I'm good. This is what I needed. Yeah. I was hungry. I was hangry. I need, like, to eat better breakfasts in the morning, but I need to give myself more time. I totally, like, slept in an extra 15 minutes this morning when I should have just gotten up, and I didn't. It's fine. I still had food. It wasn't like that. Like, I did not eat. You know, my coffee, my cookies in the morning, my miso soup, and I'm not doing honey and apple cider vinegar anymore. I'm doing molasses because it's supposed to be good for your hair and your bones. So I'm trying to get this hair to get thicker. Thick. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of thin. A little frail, little baby frail. Look at them. They're so tiny. Like, I know maybe you can't really tell, but, like, I mean, I feel like you could tell more on the end how wispy it is. But, like, let me find one strand of hair. I used to do this when I was young. Because someone, like, once was like, what does one strand of your hair look? Look at this little baby strand! You can barely see him! You used to scribbled? Aw, thanks! I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can change that. I need to change that. I promised somebody I would change that, and I haven't changed it yet. When I got on, I saw that you could do that, and I was playing around with it, but I didn't think about, like, the logistics of it, and so it's just kind of on there. You know? I really appreciate it, though. That means a lot to me. gosh, that was the other thing I was supposed to do. Are the emotes working? Or is it being weird still? Emotes? My emotes are working! Yes, bitch! I think I got... These are all the brand new ones I just did the other day. What do we think? What do we think? Noodles and ramen. It is ramen. And eggs and cheese. My happy lettuce. She's walking. Imagine it doing like sexy walk, but like lettuce. That's what she's supposed to be doing. It's like the happy walk, you know. How are you doing? Drake, how are you today? What have you been up to? Oh, gosh. That's good to hear. Yeah. I wish I was just chilling, but I gotta get this shit done. Because I keep putting it off. I want to get it done, and then like I feel bad about it, and I'm like, ugh, I've been wanting to do that for a hot minute and record this, and I just haven't, and I think I need... Oh, you know what? You're a great person to ask. So I need to make 1K bit, 5K bit, and a 10K bit like emote. What do people normally put for that kind of stuff? What have you seen? Because I want to do something. I like how I turned away so I didn't have to burp and... Like, you can't even get it, and I turned away. You're welcome. Ashante. But yeah, what do people do? I need to make some of those. What are you eating for din din? I ask a lot of questions when I'm like all over the place because my brain's like... You don't have to answer my questions. Taco Bell. Do you remember the Taco Bell dog? The little chihuahua with the little hat? And he'd be like, oh yeah, Taco Bell. I remember him. My great grandmother was obsessed with him and would have like little stuffed dogs all over her house. It was weird. And like you'd push them. It was like really popular like to have like the voice thingies in them at the time. You could like push his little paw and he'd be like, oh yeah, Taco Bell. And, like say other weird things to you about Taco Bell. I don't know why. I'm glad they got rid of him. It was kind of creepy. And racist. He creeped me out. He was not cool. But like I was like a little 6-year-old, you know, like sitting in my grandma's house. But she was also the lady where she had these timeout dolls. And they were like 5-year-old kid-sized dolls with like fake hair and clothes and everything. And the hands were sewn over the head like this, and she put them in the corner, right? So she had these all over the house, and whenever you were a bad kid, you had to go take its spot. Like she would move them out of the way, and you'd stand in there with your hands until she came back to replace the doll. Yeah. So I think that's why the Taco Bell dog freaked me out, because like then on top of that she had like that guy like all over her couch and on her bed and stuff. Freaked me out. Like people think like glass dolls are freaky, but like they don't freak me out. Like I've seen creepier. You just like because it's talking dog. No fair. No, I get it. You can talk to dogs. Dogs listen. They just don't talk back the same way. I keep turning away. I know I don't know why. It's not... I normally just burp at the camera. So I'm not really sure what's making me turn away right now. I haven't had a soda in a hot minute. I was really needing one. Thank you. I like burps. They make me happy. They make me laugh. Almost as funny as farts. Almost. But I'm a dad jokes kind of person, you know? They make me laugh the hardest. Or puns. But I was so hungry. I didn't realize how hungry I was. What do you like to get from Taco Bell? I don't eat fast food anymore. Just like, this is the most fast foody I'll get these days. But, I would love getting the, what was it? It was like, the tortilla, and then like meat and cheese and lettuce and tomato, and then they have like the hard, like, tostada in the center, and then like another layer of stuff, and then they fold it and fry it on both sides. I love that. That was good. Yes. Potato tacos. Potato tacos are good. I like anything with like their nacho cheese in it, or with like what were they had like chips or something in it. What were they? I can't remember because I haven't had Taco Bell in. When's the last time I ate Taco Bell? Might be a couple years now. Truthfully, it might be a few years now. Yeah, at least like 2 years. Year and a half, maybe. Eight months at the shortest. I've made like Taco Bell creations at home, but not gone to Taco Bell, you know. I got Chipotle recently, I guess. But I only did that because, like, I went to go see my sister. And, like, the choice was to, like, go buy. Like, it was late. And so it was, like, go there or go to McDonald's. And I hate McDonald's. I hate McDonald's. Every time I get food from McDonald's, I hate myself a little bit. Like, it doesn't taste as good as I want it to. It comes out gnarly. And it just, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I understand that. I used to be vegan. And I was vegetarian before that. And I've been vegetarian after. But the hard part about that kind of stuff, when it comes to, like, keeping it consistently, is that I really like bacon. And I just, eggs and bacon. Those are the things I seem to keep going back to. And I'm not really sure why. So, I don't know. Maybe something in them that I need that I'm not getting out in anything else. I think that's the hard part, is like trying to find the things that change, like alternate the vitamin stuff that you get from them. Like move like the stuff that I get from eggs into something else. Like I don't know what I need to eat. I don't think I've done enough research. It's a lot of research to be vegan or vegetarian to know what you need. Yeah, and honey. I really like honey, and a lot of people consider honey to be like milk, essentially. I guess they're not technically wrong, but I don't know. It's not like I need honey, but like I love local honey. It's really good for, like, allergies and stuff. And I live in the Pacific Northwest, and there's a lot of allergies during the spring and the fall and the summer. A lot. A lot. Mm-hmm. My hanger has come down. I'm feeling myself relax finally. My eyes are a bit bloodshot still, honestly. I need to take my contacts out once I get done off of this. I'm feeling the sleepies already. It was a good day. I used up a lot of energy. And I'm feeling, like, really satisfied in, like, my success for today. And now I gotta do it tomorrow. We can do it 2 days in a row. The one thing I haven't been successful at so far while streaming is just streaming during the weekday. Because that's my goal, so that way I can have my weekends to myself, or to go to see friends, or whatever. And it's only been a couple weeks, but, like, I really need to figure that out so I can... Because, like, summer's gonna come, and I'm gonna be traveling down to Portland, and we've already seen what happens to my stream when I go down to Portland for some freaking reason. Portland hates me. You just sleepy all day. That's okay. It's okay to be sleepy all day. Take some rhodiola, or there's like some other types of vitamins that are supposed to help you boost your... Yay! I like being contagious. It's like COVID. I'm joking. I'm joking. I kind of enjoyed playing with my hair. It's really soft right now because I showered yesterday, and my hair day's on Sunday, so it's like super soft at the moment. But doing this, I think, makes it more oily, and I think because I play with it so much the first couple of days that, like, after cleaning it, it's like, it doesn't last very long before it starts getting oily. But I'm committed to washing it just once a day, once a week, once a day. I did that once I destroyed my hair. Okay, that emoji where the guy's like, right? I did the Pepe Pig one, and Pepe Pig. I did the Pepe Frog one, but like lettuce version. Does this look like it? I need your opinion. No, stop that. How good is that? Is that worth it? Should I keep it? Or should I switch it out? I don't know. I kind of like it, but I don't think people really understand what it is. I think I need to, like, adjust something on it. Also, I feel like it's more questiony of a face than it looks like a LOL face. So I just made it that. But I feel like I need to adjust it more. Oh, man. Okay. One more bite and then we'll read a little bit. I'll go over these and then we'll eat some more. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's how I felt too. That's why I did the question. That's why I named it, like, the lettuce question. But it was supposed to be that one. But it was supposed to be Pepe that one. And I just don't think I just... like, I hand drew that. You know what I mean? Like, on my computer. So, I'm happy it just came out looking like something. We'll try again. We'll try again a different day. Not today, but a different day. And, like, not hand-drawn, like, I have a tablet thing. Like, hand-drawn, like, I used a mouse. maybe not the most successful way of doing something like that, but 'tis be what I did. Okay. Let's talk about this book. Stalking the Wild Pendulum. Because I need this on my YouTube, okay? Oof. Fuck. What is this? Follower goal met. I thought it was already met. What happened? Someone unfollowed me. I'm joking. That's kind of funny though that it popped up again. Who followed me? Does it say? Follower goal. Just now. I know, but you gonna tell me who followed me? Organize. Oh, organized. Score. Organized score. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't know if I said your name right, but thank you. I think, who was it yesterday who did it? It was, I think they changed their name. But somebody else did it. Y1. I think they had a different name yesterday, though. People change their names so fast on here. I wish I could change my name that fast. Okay. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follows, guys. Seriously. I mean it. Like, I definitely do this just for funsies. And, like, I wasn't expecting so many people to follow me or, like, to get to the point where I could, like, get subscribers or anything. So, like, I really appreciate it. It makes me really happy and excited and, like, really stoked to, like, keep doing them. Which maybe isn't, like, the best. Like, I was gonna do them anyways, right? But, like, I feel more encouraged to do them sooner and to be on more often than I did before. Because, like I said, I was just doing it to be, like, I'm in a place, I moved away from all my friends, so, like, streaming's, like, the place I come to, like, kind of get that interaction with people and to hang out, and, it's just nice. It's nice that people like hanging out with me, because I like hanging out with you guys. You have multiple accounts? That's nice. I should probably do that so that way I can have like my streaming account and then like my watching streams account, so that way it's not always all on one, but I definitely have it all on one, so 'tis be what it is, and I'm probably not going to change anytime soon. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's do this. So the intro of this, I'm going to kind of just read down my notes. I got 4 pages of notes of just the first 4 chapters, okay? So the book specifically said that the first 4 chapters are kind of thick, and I would agree. They are hella thick, like with information. It's like about quantum physics. It's about the way science is. It's about the theory of reality. I just wrote it. Hold on. Relativity. The theory of relativity. So like, it is like, it takes a little brain work. Okay. The good thing about this is if you're an open-minded person and you kind of already believe in multi-dimensions, multi-realities, if you already believe in, like, you're, like, the person that you are, the observer that you are is different from the body. If you already believe in that kind of stuff, it's kind of easy to take in. And it's just kind of putting the science around those kind of beliefs more than anything, which for me was nice because, like, I already read, the quantum debate between Bohr and Einstein, and so like I know a bit about quantum physics, quantum theory, quantum mechanics, and all that now because of that book, and so like it put that book in perspective to my beliefs and like kind of connected the two. So if those are things you believe in, if those are things like if you believe in science and quantum physics and all that stuff, and you also believe that like God is real, which they call the ultimum in science, because it's like essentially the understand, it's like, you know what? We'll go through the notes because it explains it really nicely in the notes. Okay? So we'll go over the notes, but essentially it tells us that God's real in a weird way, but it's, of course, it's not in the way of like Christian beliefs, right? Like, it's not like the white Jesus prophecy kind of stuff. Like, that's not God. I've never believed that was God, and never, even when I was younger. I don't really feel like I believed in that when I think about, like, when I heard that stuff. But I like the way that this is put, and it's like a lot more believable than some white man coming down from the skies and saving everyone and damning everybody else. I've also think I've slowly have been coming into the realization that I've always believed that there's no way that there could be one consciousness in which that people could ever get left behind, right? If there's a one consciousness, I never understood the separation. If there's a one consciousness, then how are there such bad people that they deserve to go to hell? If there's a one consciousness, how is there a space for such terrible acts or such unknown energy that it's the opposite of the one, like, mindset? So, like, it just didn't make sense to me. It was, like, very contradictory. And this really explains in science to me how I think it actually works and how it actually is. So, these are definitely some dumbed down notes because I'm not going to be writing, like, he wouldn't, if you have to read the book, he literally goes into formulas, there's, like, diagrams, and, like, really breaks it down, like, scientifically. So, like, these are dumbed down from that book, right? So just hang in here with me. So, the intro. Gaining knowledge makes you more ignorant. That's the first start, right? Because once you gain some knowledge, you have more questions. There's more questions in the world. And with more questions, you realize that you don't have all the answers, which means you understand that you don't know everything. And I've always believed the smartest people are also the dumbest people. So, like, I don't know. I really liked that was in there. Talks about the multi-realities, many realities. Makes models by explaining how things like clairvoyance and telepathy works within our laws. So this is like a statement that he's making, is that he's going to show you modally, like, which he does. He creates these models to show you how clairvoyance and telepathy work within our, like, laws of, like, the theory of relativity. And if you believe in the theory of relativity, if you believe in science, right, he says we need to know what consciousness is within the theory of relativity, without, like, with experiments, without, like, any doubt that those are real things. And so, like, he's asking, like, what is consciousness, and, like, how are we going to explain that? And we also need to understand how light works, how sound behaves, and how they work together in nature. And that's what the first 4 chapters are. And I completely agree. That's exactly what these 4 chapters are. And it is so thick. It's thick as hell. It was really, I loved it, but it's a bit. And I literally had the book for 21 days, and I read the first 2 chapters, and I kind of fell off the book, mostly because I was reading another book for investing, and another book for learning Spanish, and another book for self-improvement. So I was, like, already overwhelming myself with information, but just 2 books in, and I could, like, within 21 days, I kept picking it up little by little, but, like, it was so hard. So, like, these last 2 chapters, I picked the book up, and, like, 20 days, I have 6 days left of my thing, and I just finished the next 2 chapters. So I'm telling you, if you're going to read this book, honestly, I should have chosen not to read any other book but this book. I should have dropped everything else and just read this book, because I knew the first 4 chapters would be the hardest to get through, and it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Say, yeah, the more you know, the more you know you don't know. It's so true. It's so true. Okay, the next thing he says is that we have to believe that reincarnation is fact. Like, we cannot, like, move through this book not believing that that's not true. And his first statement on that is with, like, a little meditation. Anyone can find proof of this, essentially, is what he says. And, like, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of understand. But, like, I think it was supposed to be a joke, but not really. Like, after reading the first 4 chapters, I think he was being really, really serious on that statement. And I think a lot of people are gonna be like, with a lot of meditation, oh yeah, I'll just take like, no one, like, they're not gonna take it seriously, but he's kind of right. Like, he's kind of right. So, anyways, I think what people will take more seriously is the second reason why reincarnation is real, which is the fact that energy cannot be lost or destroyed. And that's in science, right? Like, that's within science. Like, we know for a fact that energy cannot be lost or destroyed. And, like, because of that, like, when we pass, that means we're not dying. That means just this body, like, this energy of our body is being released, which means it's going somewhere else, right? Which means, where does it go? What does it do next? Which means we have to become something else, which in and of itself is reincarnation. So, I just thought that was really, like, simply well put, and he did a great job of explaining that, and I'm definitely going to be using that on people. If anyone ever tells me they don't believe in it, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's fine, but, like, if you believe in science, like, energy cannot be destroyed or, like, lost. So, I don't know, do with that information as you will. Okay, so we get into the first chapter, and the first thing he starts talking about is holograms, which, if you read the quantum debate between Bohr and Einstein, he puts it so much, like, the whole book talks about, like, it's that, like, the whole book of quantum debate between Bohr and Einstein, like, they spend so many chapters talking about holograms and how they work, and the science around them, and all the theories and the tested theories are the way theories were set up to, like, create the theories around holograms. And he makes it so simple. One of the theories that eventually comes up in the quantum debate between Bohr and Einstein is the idea of a pebble being thrown into water. And he talks about how, like, if you throw a pebble into water, you see the ripple effect of the water. And if you could instantly freeze it as it hits the water, it would be like you would see all the ripples and the pebbles and everything, right? And you could freeze that image, it would just be like that. And if you break that image in pieces, right, you could shatter it. It's not going to melt or anything, it's just the image is frozen and then you break it. You could take any random piece of it and you could put, like, a laser, like a very, like, a light point, right, laser through it, and it would show the image of the entire ripple effect. It wouldn't just be that one section of the ripple, it'd be the entire image. Now, it would probably be a little bit fuzzy, it wouldn't be exactly perfect because it's just a section of it, right? But you would still see the entire image, and that essentially is what a hologram is. And our brain stores information like holograms, apparently. Like, that's how our fucking brains work. Like, when I perceive all of this, it saves this one section of it, each and every section that's happening right now, it saves it into my head. And, like, I can pull, like, when you remember things, that's why sometimes things are fuzzy, is because you're pulling a section of that hologram. He explains it really, really, really well. And I just encourage you guys to look into holograms, because there's no way I can explain it. Because I've now read 2 books that have explained holograms to me, and I still cannot explain it as good as they do. I do not comprehend it as well. But holograms are really fucking cool, and you should look into them. Anywho. A real hologram, of coherency, is like a laser, a single frequency, one color, one chromatic. It's moving forward an even, flat line. Like, that is, like, you need that to create a hologram. So it's a really precise like type of laser. It's not just like, like any type of light. It has to be like very specific. So that is something which is really trippy to think about, that our brains do that like our entire lives, right? For all of our memories, which is bomb. We're so cool. People are like, The second thing he talks about is when these laser lights are like sent out, the way that they work, right, for a hologram is if it's just a laser light like pointing out into nothing, like if it's pointing through this hologram, then it shows like the thing. If there's nothing there, then it's just the one dot of the laser light. One thing that they learned in science was that if you could cut that laser in half, like you put something in it so only half the light makes it past, and then on this other half there's a mirror that reflects it to an image and then reflects it back to the same point where the other laser that was just playing, going straight. When the lasers connect at that point back onto a wall or wherever it's showing, it will show the entire image that half of the laser connected, which means that this other half that didn't ever see that picture is talking to the other half of the laser once it reconnects. And the image is fully blown up as if the other side of the laser got to see it too. So like light is all consistently talking to each other, like all light, but lasers are just the way for us to be able to perceive it. A big thing that I took away from this chapter in this section was this statement where he said we only exchange differences, and that has to do about that laser thing, because like that half the laser exchanged with the other half the difference between the two, and then they created the full thing, and he's saying that like it's not just lasers, that we also do that, like it's all energies that do that, but just we perceive it in lasers the easiest right now because that's what we understand. Our bodies are made of sounds, right? And a big thing about sound is the way that our heart beats, and how we like the way our heart beats, right, is it's like beating at a certain point, and when it beats through our whole entire body, and then it comes back, right? And there's actually a bone down, like, in between our legs, so when our heart beats, it ricochets off that and comes back up to the heart, and it creates like a double, it's like that boom, 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 right? And so there's something called resonant tuning, which is when you slow your heart down enough, right? So you're calm, you're zen, you're breathing, you're patient. You calm your heart down enough that repeat of the heart coming back up doesn't happen anymore. And all of a sudden, instead of your body being like boom, 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 right? Because like it's boom, like bouncing off itself, it's and that's called resonant tuning. And it's something that a lot of people need to learn how to do, because apparently it's really good for you. Okay? Anyways, the next part that I have here in this chapter is, after experiencing the same thing over and over again, after some time we get used to it, and our brain will process it as unnecessary to process. So like clicking noises, tapping sounds, physical, it can be physical, it can be lights, it can be hearing, but like whatever our brain is processing, like this is trauma, this is feelings, it's anything that we experience in any way, shape, or form, that we experience over and over and over and over again, we get used to it, and our brain will process it as unnecessary to continue to process, because it's like, oh, that's just the norm, that's just like what it is, because it takes so much effort to continuously process something like that. It's like, why are we processing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? Like, we already know, we already got it. Like, we get tired of it. Our brain's like, it's whatever. um, doing this allows for no energy to be used. That's why, because we're using so much energy every single time. Our body's like, no, we don't need to use this energy to keep processing the same thing over and over again. Like, it's good, we got it. But it still affects you. Even though your brain and your energy isn't using it to process, it still affects you. Whatever it is that's repeating over and over again. So, a big part of this is rhythm entrainment, which apparently everything in this entire universe is rhythm entrained. Some examples that he gave is like the moon and the sun, orbits, nature, like, a big one was like, I remember reading, I don't have it in the notes, but I remember reading clams open and close to the moon, and if you take clams from one part of the ocean and you like bring them far away to a different part, they will keep going to the rhythm of the original ocean, but eventually will retrain themselves to the rhythm, or to the rhythm of the moon where it was at, to the rhythm of the moon where it is now. Like, it will keep doing it, like the open and close, like to the moon, and then eventually, after you've moved them, they will re-synergize, re-energize, retrain themselves energetically to go to the new moon cycle that they're in. And you do that, I do that, everything in this entire world does that. Plants, all of it. Birds, everything. Because we live in a vibrating reality. Nothing is static, at least not permanently. And that's like the big thing that he talks about, is how, like, within this reality, because our atoms are always shaking, little tiny atoms, everything that connects everything is like always vibrating and moving. So like technically nothing can ever fully stay static. Though we're gonna kind of touch on some it's totally static at resonance though. We're gonna talk about that because he says this within the first chapter, but within the last chapter we talk about why it can't be truly still. Why even when we think that it is static, it's not. So that's why I'm like, I know that I'm going to be saying some things right there. And like the moment I said it, because like I think I felt like the same way when I first like went through it. I was like, well, there's some things where like it does, and he's right. He's right. There are things that we believe are complete stillness, but they are not complete stillness. We just can't perceive them in their non-stillness. You'll see in a second. We'll get to it, I promise. Okay. So, we move on to talking about oscillators. An oscillator is a device that moves in periodic, repetitive fathom between, I don't know what word that's supposed to be, repetitive something between 2 points of rest, right? And he talks about rest. And that's where I thought, I was like, oh, see, like he's saying rest, that means stop, that means something that's still. But you'll see why it's not true. It's not really, really still. It's not really rest. It's just for us to be able to perceptualize, essentially. No, you'll see. I know you think you're right. I thought I was right too. You'll see. Anyways, people are oscillators. We vibrate in and out of phases with each other, and we get locked into phases with rhythm entrainment, just like everything else in this world. We move on to chapter 2, where that's cool. That's really cool that you studied that. Now shut up and listen. Everything In chapter 2, he talks about everything is ordinary moving a million times a second. Everything is ordinarily moving a million times a second. We can see this in human tissue magnification. Micro reality is made up of vast empty spaces filled with oscillating files. All these files talk to each other. We are affected by sound, light, and magnets, which some of this is just repeating itself, but I don't really remember chapter 2 as much. I should have reread it, but some of it's repetitive, but he was just talking about more science that, like, backed it up. You know what I mean? And then, like, went back into examples of, like, the moon being an oscillator and how that works. And then, like, talks about how people are emotionally unstable or affected by the moon and things like that. So the type of fields, ionosis for highly charged. I'm sorry, I'm having to reread my handwriting, and I kind of wrote chapter 2 absolutely dog shittily. So give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Ionosphere? Oh, fields. Types of fields. There's the ionosphere, highly charged. It's a positive with the Earth being its negative. Our bodies are a field. So it's like the Earth's... Oh, I can't remember the part of this. So it's like the Earth's field, the atmosphere is a field. Our bodies have fields. And they kind of all communicate with each other and, like, address each other and, like, affect each other. We trade energy with, like, the Earth and, like, with other things, like, within our fields, or, like... And, like, this is why he was talking about the resonant state, and how we need to, like, kind of use it a bit, because, like, when we're in our resonant state, which happens when we sleep, the energy goes through us. Like, it can move through us a lot better. People can do it when they meditate as well. And then like when you're high on LSD or doing mushrooms or on weed or something like that, you can also get into those states. Then we move on to chapter 3. And he talks about our nervous system and how it works. In one way, a series of irregular spikes. When slightly touched or sound is used, it puts quick... I think I was writing this on the bus. I wish I would have, like, been a little more calmer, but it's like, I think I was probably trying to get off the bus and move. So I need to be more careful when I'm doing that. Sorry. Okay. Use the poles quickly one to the other. Okay. When slightly touched or sound is used, then the poles quickly move from one to the other. Kind of like Morse code of action. A rest then creates something like a rose from that code. A rest. I don't think that's supposed to be rose, but definitely looks like a rose. Rose from that, something from that code. So essentially, from what I'm understanding and trying to remember from chapter 3, is that, like, our nervous systems create, like, a Morse code that our body translates, our minds mind generates from what's happening, and kind of reads it, right? Action and rest examples. Pendulum. All living things have a back and forth reciprocating oscillating behavior. Motion and rest, which I think it's funny because, like, he kept bringing up rest, and I kept trying to understand why he didn't, like, how the world, what did he call it? A vibrating reality where there is no such true thing as rest. But yet we still he could use the word rest, which I understand he needed to do because, like, that's how we, like, understand and comprehend things, but whatever. Anyways, motion and rest. Rest potential energy is at a max velocity okay, so when rest and potential energy is at max, velocity is at 0. 10 to the negative 33%, 10 to the negative 33 centimeters Planck's point. I don't remember what that was supposed to mean. I'm gonna have to reread chapter 3. See, this is what I'm saying. It was thick as fuck. Like, I was really trying to understand and, like, write things that made sense, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to reread chapter 3 and chapter 2 because it's been a hot minute. Pendulums technically move faster than light at one point in the swing. If you have the velocity, you cannot know its location. So this is kind of talking about, like, the stuff with the quantum debate with Bohr and Einstein that I was reading, so I kind of understood this outside of this book. But, like, from what I understand, within the pendulum, there's a point at which, technically, what did he call it? The potential energy is extremely high, right? And it's supposed to be at rest. But what they're saying is when it's at that point, they cannot see the object anymore. And within that means that it could be anywhere in the universe, which means technically it's not still. It moves anywhere it wants or wherever it's supposed to be, and you don't know that until you search for it, and then it will be where you look for it at. I don't know if I said that well enough. But you can't know the specific object's location and speed at the same time. Which means if you don't know its location, it's going wherever as fast as it wants, wherever. It's still, my mind's still trying to wrap around it fully, truthfully. But I feel like I basically understand. If you know the velocity, you cannot know its location. If you know the location, you cannot know the velocity. So it's like, if you can see it, if you know its location, you can't know what it's vibrating at, which means everything is moving. Yeah! Hello! Rackus, how are you? Sam! Heinsberg uncertainty principle! I've never heard that, but I'm gonna look that crap up! Thank you for that. I love that you sent that to me. I appreciate it. The point of rest, objective and subjective reality. Objective is oscillates objects. Both become real with the change of motion. And then I must have gotten bored. I don't know how I got bored, like, listening to this book, but then I decided to draw art. Who does that? Who does that? I do that, apparently. I don't know. I was listening, I swear. No wonder why I can't remember chapter 3. With no rest, our content rest one reality no longer exists. The tangible world is movement. All objects are always moving. Morse code are always in motion. Morse code of action to rest, or senses use this to show us the tangible world, the physical world. So as long as there's physical world, something is vibrating. If we no longer have physical world, nothing is vibrating. So for physical world to function, things must be moving. That is why there's no technical realness in rest. That's the crap you were talking about. Man, I didn't know that. I appreciate you telling me. Okay? This is something I just recently stumbled upon, and I've just been absorbing it. I didn't know it was somebody already. Oh, Rakus, thank you for following me. I appreciate that. Physics! Isn't it quantum physics, though, technically? Just wondering. That's not like, I'm not like trying to be like, I know more than you. I'm trying to be like, no, seriously. Is it physics or is it quantum physics? Does it matter? Are they the same thing, technically? I don't know. Anyways, we finally made it to fucking chapter 4, which is where we're gonna stop. But, I got 2 pages on chapter 4, and I just did this today on my bus ride home. Quantum physics, I guess. Okay. I don't know if there's technically a difference between physics and quantum physics, or if there's physics and then quantum physics is like, you know, a section of it, but like, yeah. Well, isn't quantum mechanics explains quantum physics? Am I understanding that properly? It's science, okay? Just believe what I'm saying, because I read it in a book. No, I'm not. Well, kind of. I did read the quantum debate between Bohr and Einstein, and I am now reading the Stalking the Wild Pendulum, which the first 4 chapters explain, like, how light and, like, just, like, things actually work. I'm trying to just decode reality. No, I'm trying to convince people that I'm a fucking god, and that all of you guys are too, and first off, fuck calling it God anymore. This guy calls it ultimum, and I'm pretty sure that's what science calls it, is the ultimum, and I think that's a way cooler name than God. Like, that's a way cooler name than God, is the ultimum. I wish I could see the charts, though, that he was explaining in chapter 4, because, like, I got the audiobook, and so it doesn't show him, but he explains it in great detail, and it sounds really cool. I'm always high, so what do I see? No, seriously, I think I've been high my whole life. I get high to be normal, like everyone else. Anyways, chapter 4. Experiment of time. Just like your body, how all your organs are separate, but you can affect one by trying to fix another, so is us in the universe. I loved that statement. I was like, ooh, yeah, I like the way you described that. Like, we are the organs inside the universe. How creepy is that? I want to be the brain. Or a tooth. I would be a molar. Yeah! What would you be? That's not an organ. Sorry. I'm a little tired. I've had a long day. I've been up since 5. It's 9:30. Okay. We move from... Okay. Ooh! So we move from mechanical clocks to atomic clocks that use a state of oscillation of seismic atoms. Or schism atoms? I think it's seismic atoms. Objective time. Objective time. Time does not feel like this measured time and is seen as a psychological time where time feels like it moves faster or slower based on the environment of an activity. So, sleep studies, hypnosis, cannabis, LSD all affect how we perceive subjective time. Yes. Have you seen reality? Does any of us see reality in reality? Huh? Is that even real? It is real. Kind of. In a way. Anyways. Time dilation. A long story happens in a short time. That's time dilation, right? Simplified. Somehow we have more subjective time than objective time. Because objective time is like when we say 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., right? We can count the numbers. But like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. could feel like 3 hours to somebody. Whereas like to somebody else could feel like 20 minutes. Right. Like today, for example, I literally felt like the first half of my work shift was taking forever, and then like the last half of it, which I worked 10 hours today, so 5 hours went by really slow. It kind of felt like longer than 5, but then the last half of the 5, like gone. And I was like, wait, I'm getting off work? Where I had hours of stuff. I got stuff done, but like, damn. Okay. Biofeedback biofeedback or meditation. You can see it. Oh, this is that part. Okay. I don't know why I wrote it like that. That looks dumb as fuck. So this is about talking about how you can like, we already know that it works like this, but he was like, if you want to do like a sciencey little thingy on it, then you can like, what's the word? You could do like your own little test at home. And so he called it biofeedback or meditation. You can call it meditation, right? So essentially, if you have a clock with hands or a watch or something, and you set it up, right, you can watch it and watch it like slow down. You can like see it slowing down. So, he was like, anyone who has good control over their consciousness can do this. Step 1 is like to relax and kind of just like be in a position where you can like chilly look at it, like resting on your hands or something, right? And you look at it and you close your eyes and you think about going somewhere really relaxing, doing an activity. He said relaxing, but you could choose any activity, just whatever you could do easiest in your mind, right? And once you're there, once you can feel like you're there, like physically, like by touch, by sound, by smell, by like everything, you really believe you're there, you're really relaxed into it, like you can open up your eye and watch the second hand, and you can watch it like not move or to like stay still. And he says that once you panic, or like once you freak out from it not moving, it will speed back up and go back into like normal time. And so subjectively, we can change the way we perceive time, but objectively, it will always be the same. Oh my god. He said you can stop it for quite a while if you are really good at it. Like, good at controlling your reality, which I think would be really cool to be able to do. So it's like, yeah, you can't, changing subjective time. Then he goes into talking about the theory of relativity, how two observers moving relative to each other do not agree on rates of running clocks, which I just talked about a little bit. So, then he suggests that if that's true, that the observer inside the body can leave behind the hardware, the brain, right? Which means that you have to go somewhere else subjectively for the time to stop here. And when you come back, like it reorientates into objective time. When something moves so fast that it uses up Oh, and like, oh, and that's what he's talking about is like, you can move so fast, like, as the observer, that you use up absolutely no time. So you're going faster than the light, like the speed of light, essentially, but like energetically. This is the part where I was having trouble making notes because he was talking about the formulas and the grids and stuff, and talking about time as like having a horizon and a vertical line, or a horizontal and a vertical line, to like talk about time essentially and speed. And that if you use no time, it flows horizontally on the axis. And at that point, if you're within the horizontal line, he says that you have to be in all places at once, which is omnipresence, and a shell of presence around the earth and the universe, because you could be anywhere all at once, and why wouldn't you be, means that you're omnipotent. And like, we have a brain that's specifically made to like collect information and to understand it. So like, we are all in that state, omniscient and omnipotent. But you have to be within that state. And the point is like remembering it, right? Like, that's the problem. It's like a lot of people, that's so much information and there's so much absorbed in such essentially no time at all, right? That like, how do you retain that information? It's just more difficult. Me drinking alcohol? Not me. You gotta speed it up then. Right? If you can slow it down, you should be able to speed it up. I feel like that's how that works. Oh, gosh. Where was I? So, you gotta understand that you're going so fast. At full rest, choosing one or the other would be insignificant. So we choose to live this life of blendedness between the choice to be fully omniscient, omnipotent and omnipresent, and being able to have time to observe, like literally having time. We created time to be able to observe all the information that we have. And like, we're all connected, which is like, he talks about that too a bit, like how we're all connected and like how we all share this information, how we're all sharing these moments, and how everyone is timing in and out, because we're oscillators, right? So we're continuously timing in and out all the time to collect this information, to go out and search for it and to come back. And like, a lot of people just aren't conscious of it. And that's like the dream state is like that time frame where like a lot more people are doing that. I mean, yeah, we are gods. That is, I've always believed that, actually, for a really long time. I just didn't have science. Like, I didn't really understand the science around it. But, I'm not really sure what the point of this book is. I know that the first 4 chapters is just talking about science and kind of, like, putting it, like, he's trying to make it so that way telepathy and, like, people perceiving ghosts or being able to like feel people's feelings or whatever, like kind of stuff, like isn't mystical, isn't magical. That's like the point of the first 4 chapters, is he's trying to get rid of the magic feel in a lot of this stuff. He's like, I don't want you to see it as mumbo jumbo or like oh, it just happens. He's like, there's like real science around it. Like, there's real educated people who went out, did the science, did the tests, like put all the stuff together. So like, I'm just feeding you back the first 4 chapters because I just started getting into the 5th chapter and I would like to finish it before going on to it. I think the whole point of the book, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember in the beginning, is to understand it to a point in which you can use it within your daily life. Which makes sense. Why not? I would want to be able to control my world a lot better than I do now. Anyways, so subjective is longer than objective time. I think he even gave like a number and like calculations and like a whole like math problem for it, and I did not write it down at all. I was on the bus, so I was like, nah. Sorry guys, you have to read the book if you want it. So you can use no subjective time at all within time if you please, and we do all the time, subconsciously. So an explanation of consciousness means there is an expansion of space. So like when we time out to do these moments of using absolutely no time to expand really far, we are literally expanding space. Subject time can pass the light, like the light speed barrier, and there's no limit on the speed or the place, right? And it's infinite speed of the observer, like within this body. And it blinks on and off, expanding infinitely as fast as it likes, all the time, on and off. For objectively really short periods of time, every day, every single one of us are doing it. Which is really cool in my mind. I just like, I love it. People are so cool. Where was I? Then we contract back into our awareness state, right? And he says that we do this like 14 times a second, which is a lot. And he also says later that like that was like the time that he gave, the 14 times a second, is like a created time to kind of understand it, but we can't really know how much we're actually doing this because it happens so fast, right? And this is where he talks about how like the memory of the observer kind of depends on like how well somebody has control under their mental state. So people who daydream, meditate, or do drugs essentially have like a better control of that memory, apparently, is what he suggested. And then he goes into solid and not solid realities. So, of course, like this physical vibrating reality is solid. And goes with small pauses. Infinitely small pauses that last forever how long. With no time. Objectively with no time, subjectively for forever. These two... Oh, and the solid and the non-solid worlds, like, work together, like I was just saying before. I kind of skipped ahead, like, when I got excited. To set, like, this multiple dimensions up, which allows for clairvoyance and telepathy and other things to exist within these realities, because a human person physically could experience somebody like sitting right, like if someone's favorite place was to sit next to the couch next to me, and like they like go into a meditative state where like that's where they want to be, I could perceive them being here and be like, what the fuck are you, like, who, what is that? And then they could disappear. I'd be like, oh wow, what was that I just perceived, right? And then they'd have no real memory of it, but I would have conscious memory of seeing something here. There's people seeing ghosts, people seeing phantoms, people like hearing things, right? Like essentially what he's saying is it's somebody else that went into that state and was there, and somebody else saw them, perceived them within this physical reality. Because we're sharing this reality on multiple different levels with each other. I really want to talk about what I read in the chapter 5 because I was really excited to share that, but I'm not going to. We're going to come back to that. You guys will have to come back. I'm sorry. I was kind of really excited to share that. I didn't realize that part was in chapter 5. Oh, but yeah, that's the beginning of Stalking the Wild Pendulum. So I really flippin' loved it. I'm excited to continue reading. I got 6 days left on this book, so look, I'll get as far as I can. I'm sure somebody else is going to request the book before, like, once I get done with it, so I'll have to wait until it comes back in my library to use. But yeah, what do you guys think? What were you guys talking about? I don't know if I was paying attention. Getting high might help for that too. Yeah, or that. Someone high. I heard we are aliens somewhere. I guess we're everything, right? Technically, that's what he's saying, is like, there's, like, essentially I am you, you are me, we are everything, and like, we are all one. And science has proven it. Yippee! The supernatural is not supernatural. That's what the guy's saying. There is no such thing as the supernatural. It is you. You are the supernatural. The supernatural is you perceiving something you can't comprehend. But it is something you can comprehend. You just need to understand the science behind it. That's his point in the beginning of this, like, these 4 chapters. There's no such thing as the supernatural. If you see something that's supernatural to you, it's because you don't have the science to explain why you're seeing it. But the truth is, what you're seeing is somebody else's consciousness, your consciousness, our consciousness, our energy, your energy, my energy, somebody else's energy. I can agree with that too. That's something as a kid, I would see shit all the time. Things that just never made sense to me. And people would be like, that never happened. And I was like, but I saw it. And what you're saying is I'm fucking crazy. I really felt for, like, a long time after I grew out of my childhood, my teenage years, that I was crazy. Because, and, like, I felt like I had to keep it to myself or someone was going to put me in the loony bin. Drug me up. But, like, I knew what I saw. I saw it, like, I saw it, I heard it, I felt it, like, I know it was real, I know it, I observed it, I'm an observer, I'm conscious, I know I'm not crazy. So, like, hearing other people tell me that wasn't possible, oh, maybe it was a trick of the light, I'm like, I don't care what you think, I know what I saw, I was there, you weren't there. And if you want to tell yourself that you're crazy or that it was just mumbo jumbo or supernatural, fine, that's cool. I don't care. But don't tell me I'm crazy. I know what I saw. So it made me so angry, and I hated talking to people about it because I was like, I don't want you to see me as crazy. If you want to feel crazy, that's cool. But, like, I know what I saw, and I know it's real. So whatever it was, I didn't think it was supernatural. I thought it was something real, something, like, I felt like there was an explanation around it. And so, like, as an adult now, reading these books around science, about quantum physics, about energy, about how, like, the world works, like, I'm, like, finally, like, oh my gosh, like, I wasn't crazy, and everyone else is just salty that they don't know. Ooh, hello! Kiwi, go. Kiwi, go. Kiwi. I'm gonna call you Kiwi that cool? You cool, kitty? I'm sorry if I said your name real bad. I love that. What did I see? I don't know. The world's not ready for that. You guys aren't ready for that. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. People are going to call me crazy, and I'm just not ready. I need people to understand the science first. I need people to see this, watch these videos, and then when I tell my stories, you'll believe me. You'll believe what I saw. You'll believe how I experienced things, because I just don't think anyone will ever believe me. And I've already told enough people that I know how people will react. I know how you guys are going to react. And you can sit here and be like, oh, no, but like, I know. I've had enough experiences. I know exactly how people will react. That's some Cartoon Network stuff. Roadrunner hits the wall. Well, it's not even just about planets, right? There's a whole universe out there that we can't perceive. Realities. We've already agreed, science has already agreed that there's multiple realities. Like, so even if they're not tangible to us, like, we know they exist. We know they're real. Get that coffee. Sydney Sweeney, like Sweeney Todd, but like Australian version? Is that what you're saying? Oh no, I should look that up before. I shouldn't say so that. I should know exactly what you're talking about. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Google it. Oh. That's not what I wanted. I say Google it, but I'm Microsoft Binging it. Oh, it's a person. It's a woman. It's an actress. She's an actress. I know her from something. What have I watched her in? Okay. Thank you, Bing. I don't know. I feel like I've seen her somewhere. What did you watch her in? No, seriously, and I think that's like the thing. It's like people, like, think about neuroscience though. Like, only like what, maybe 50 years ago, we were literally giving people lobotomies. Like, that's where, like, you know, that's how people perceive neuroscience. They think it's like a fun little thing we do, test subjecty, and now we're like, oh, now we don't do people, like, brain testing, so, like, it's a lot harder to do, so people feel like it's kind of stonewalled, right? We don't have the technology to be able to... I think that's a lot of things, like, within my lifetime, I grew up hearing was, like, we don't have the technology to see the brain and understand the brain. Like, we can't just crack the brain open and see inside it working. Like, you know, it's a lot of this, like, a lot of things that I heard growing up is that, like, we can't move forward in that science. But that's just not true either. And I feel like that's, like, a social structure that's created to keep people ignorant. I'm also funny, or what? The coffee's funny. We know we don't know. You're right. You know we don't know. Yeah, but on top of that, like, think about, like, so, like, this is one thing I keep putting in perspective, right? Everything's connected. So, like, when colonization really started coming through, Christianity really started, like pushing through the colonization, because colonization was happening before Christianity, but Christianity just kind of like power dozed that shit into the ground. It erased so much history, because history before Christianity was verbally given. A lot of traditional information, like in tribes and indigenous communities, was only verbally handed down. And if you go to these communities, they've been saying a lot of the stuff that science has now proven. They've been saying a lot of shit that science is, saying, oh, actually, it's right, but only because we are using our scientific words. But, like, a lot of these indigenous communities were like, yeah, we already know that. Yeah, you just didn't want to believe us. Because the way we said it didn't make sense. It sounded like magic. But it was mumbo jumbo, right? And it was real. It was fucking real. But now the white Christian people finally scienced their way to it. Yeah, and doesn't that make you wonder, like, how, like, who were the dinosaurs? Who were the dinosaurs? Objective time, not subjective time. That's humanity for you, no joke. Yeah. No, seriously. Like, I can't even imagine what it's good. Did you follow me? Thanks for the follow. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. Not the dinosaurs, but the future humans. What if the dinosaurs were the future humans and they went back in time to try and save us, and then they just didn't know? They didn't know. I'm joking. I would kick ass. I would want to be a dinosaur. I would totally want to be a velociraptor. Especially since, like, I didn't think velociraptors were that cool because they were just, like, essentially, like, lizards, right? But, like, the way that we actually understand how they looked was, like, they were, like, birds. And they, like, made cool noises and shit. I'm like, I make cool noises. I'm sorry, that was dumb. T-Rex fan here. Oh! I got little arms. I swear T-Rexes were dragons. Like, you know how, like, they have, like, the little things? Imagine that, but, like, the wing thing stuck to their, like, and they could fly. That's how I see T-Rexes. T-Rexes were actually dragons. Didn't T-Rexes... Oh, yeah. Raptors were fucking fantastic group hunters. They were like pack wolves. Like, better than pack wolves. Like, that shit's crazy to me to think about. And we only know that from their bones? We learned that from their bones? I never wanted to be an architect or, like, a paleontologist or anything, but I thought those people were cool. I did. I've always thought that shit was cool. I always loved museums as a kid. I really fucking did. And as an adult, I hate them. And it's not really, like, I hate, like, the information that they have, right? I hate how they've kind of become, where, like, for example, like, some of the biggest museums have stolen artifacts, right? Like, there's a Mexican headdress from an indigenous population, I think it's either the Aztecs or the Mayans, and it's been sitting across in Europe for fucking forever, and Mexico's been like, give us our headdress back. We want our fucking headdress back. It's made by this very specific feathers from this bird that's about to die out. We want our fucking headdress back. And they're like, just recently, they're like, oh yeah, we want to give it back now, but it's so delicate. We don't think we can, we don't think it will come over now. Yeah, you waited fucking over 50 years. What the fuck's wrong with you? Of course now it's not going to travel well. You stole it, and then you kept it until you couldn't bring it back. It's not even yours! It's that shit that picks me up. Because, like, it'd be so cool to see that. It'd be so cool, but I would want to go to Mexico to see it. I don't want to go over to Europe to see a Mexican headdress from one of Mexico's indigenous populations. That makes no sense! That makes no sense! I go to Mexico to see the culture, not Europe! No, seriously, we would probably be the dinosaur bitches. Like, we would be like cats for the dinosaurs. They'd be like, yeah, they like scratch us and clean our toes and stuff like that. And we're like, don't eat me! We are hunter-gatherers. We're just really bad at it now. I gather my food at the grocery store once a week. Hello, Daria Stone. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? We just got off a really hot topic, you know, dinosaurs. Pet velociraptor, dude, that would not be physically possible. They would murder us. But that would be cool. I would want to pet one. But I feel like that would be like having pet monkeys. The Terminator, but with dinosaurs. Can that be a movie? Can Netflix make that? Netflix, if you're watching this, we give you the permission to steal Terminator/dinosaur mixture. Please make it. Just throw that out into the universe. Wait like 4 years, we'll see it. Don't worry about it. Keep a lookout, okay? Dude, could you imagine riding a velociraptor? Like a horse? Or a camel? I would do that. I would do that. What's a B-Rex stream? What's a B-Rex stream? I wasn't dissing Europe, like, all in general. It's just, like, the way they do, museums. I love museums, but I don't like the way they do museums. Because, like, I don't want to go to Europe to see Mexican culture. I want to go to Mexico to see Mexican culture. You know what I mean? What kind of dinosaur would you date? Ooh, what would be a good dating dinosaur? Do you guys know Ducky from The Land Before Time? The little tiny one? I would date one of those. I don't know what they're called, but I would date one of those. That's the one. American frat boys. I could see raptors. I could see raptors like American frat boys, truthfully. I could. Way too cool. That would be funny. That's a good name. You're too heavy. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably be too heavy for velociraptors. Oh, no, that was Ducky! Ah! I can't believe you just pulled that out! That was true. What scene was that I'm remembering that from? She was like... Wasn't it a cartoon? Did you follow me, Darius Stone? Thank you very much. I appreciate the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One day I'm going to have the notifications figured out. I swear. I swear I'll figure it out for you guys. Don't you worry. To Ducky! No, they fucking are. I had chickens. Okay, first off, I wish I still had them, but I moved from my house, and you need space. Chickens need space, and they're not an indoor creature, in my opinion. They really shouldn't be. They're messy, and it's really hard to keep them clean. And trust me, I wasn't about to do some diapers on chickens. That's gnarly. Okay, Anyways, but they really are, when they're talking to each other or when they're laying eggs, like, so I had 7 chickens, and our laying coop had enough room for, like, 4 of them to be in there at a time. And so if one of them really wanted to lay an egg, and, like, they were waiting for way too long for another one to come out, they would start yelling at each other. And they this is how they sound. This is going to get a little annoying, so stay with me. They would be like, like, screaming at each other like that. And they'd be so loud and obnoxious, and I'd have to go out there. I named one of them Black Mamba because she was a full black chicken. I'd be like, Black Mamba! And then, and she would do this thing to me. She'd go, like, you cannot squeak at me. I need you to stop. If they're gonna come out, they're gonna come out. You can go in there and squish them out. You're literally the fattest hen here. Just get in there and they will leave. What the fuck is molecular analysis? Say what? Analysis of molecules, yeah. Yeah, essentially. It's like the DNA, like, analysis, like, of genes and stuff, yeah. I'm sorry you have a cold. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks. I try to be. For myself mostly, because, you know, depression's a killer. Literally. I can say that because I've been depressed most of my life. I only know lumberjack work. Aw. You gotta learn more. Yes, there are dinosaur molecules. Gasoline is molecular. Yep. There's a molecular structure to everything. Yeah, you got it. Everything has a molecular structure. Well, because they have bones, right? Or not bones, fossils, technically, right? They have the fossils of dinosaurs, and they, like, checked them out, all tiny-like, and compared them. I don't know who had that bright idea, but someone did. I think technically everything's made. I think, yes, I think everything has DNA. Yes, everything has DNA. Who can, ooh, yeah, who knows what DNA stands for? Let's see who comes up with it. Did you eat your chickens? I did not eat my chickens. No, I gave them to a home, a family who had a lot more land than I did and had some more chickens and they had space, and we gave them to them. And we asked them if they were going to eat them, and they said no. So they're going to let them live until they die, which is great because that's what I wanted. I think they deserve to live a whole life. They're not fat chickens like that anyways. They were laying egg chickens. They would, like, lay an egg every day, and I had 7 of them, so I'd get, like, 7 eggs a day. Okay, someone came up. Dicohydroxynatrium alloy. I know, I didn't say that. I didn't even try to say that. That's a long-ass name. Deoxycarboxylic acid. Yep, that's the other one I tried. I like the cat emoji. What the fuck is it about? It's just, like, proteins and stuff, which is fine, because I don't want to be made of carbs. Oh, shit. You guys are funny. Noise. What's a molecule? It's like, so atoms are the smallest thing, right? And then, like, an atom is inside a molecule. A neutron? I think a neutron's within, I think it's like neutrons and atoms and the molecule holds them together. A quark? No. Like your lad Ronnie? Hey. I had a friend named Ronnie. He died. And did you know that thing about like how many times a cell could divide was actually, it's only been like 2,000 years. There was something that happened that was it changed in our genetics. We could, like, our molecules would go on and on and on and on. Like our DNA, our cells would divide and divide and divide and never ever like have problems ever. And then like 2,000 years ago, like genetically, like scientifically, something changed our stuff so that way that would start happening after we turned, like, after a certain amount of times. So it wasn't always like that for humans. Like, that was something that happened within us. Atom isn't the smallest thing? I was pretty sure it was. Yeah, I want to be made of stardust. I don't think carbs make you fat. I'm pretty sure consuming too many carbs to the amount that you burn makes you gain, like, makes your body hold on to sugars. Makes you store sugars. Atom has a quirk and then it has something. Oh, so like there's something within the atom. Okay. Oh yeah. I get that. But the smallest observable thing we know is an atom, right? A proton? Maybe you guys are right. I'm kind of tired, truthfully. Yeah, you are right. There are, like, electrons and protons inside an atom. You guys are right. I'm sorry. I just forgot because I'm sleepy. You got hit with a fucking shovel. Yeah. They do. Atoms do. No, you guys are right. I just forgot. Did you get the gold finally? Yeah, because everything orbits everything, which we were just talking about in this book, how everything is always moving. Well, being hung upside down is not cruel, depending on how long it happens and if you like it. Carbs are not the devil's food. You cannot do that to carbs. You don't need more beer. You want more beer. That's different. You know what? If I'm sleepy, no matter how much information I take in, I think recalling it is going to take a little bit of effort more than I'm willing to put in. You know? Yeah, gravitational constant. What kind of chaosy theories? Wait, what is the three-body problem? Is it a TV show or a movie? It's on Netflix? Is it real? Is it real science? I believe in you. You go get that more beer. You deserve it. Guys, I have to go to bed. Shall we raid somebody? Who do you guys feel like raiding? let's look about. Let's find somebody to raid. We'll freak them out. But everything is constant. Nothing is constantly constant, but all of it's constant. Let's see who we have online. We got Duck Boxing, Fuzzy Boozy, and Lost and Found. Lost and Found is somebody I've been following for a hot minute. I think they play video games. They're playing League of Legends right now. Fuzzy Boozy is just chatting. She's kind of more of like a sassy streamer, if you know what I mean. And then Duck Boxing, he's really interesting. He's a good person. He's fun to watch. What do you guys feel like? So it does make all sense in the end. You're right. You know, that's for another story. We'll have to talk about the ghosts I saw when I was young at some other point. Let's finish this book and then we can talk about ghosts. Or on a different day. Not on a day where this... Because this specific post is going to go up underneath a specific type of stream. What do you guys prefer? I'm going to pick somebody if you guys don't pick somebody. I got 3 choices. Do you guys want to go into a larger stream or a smaller stream? Yeah, she's a huge streamer though. She's got 178 people on right now. So if you guys want someone more personal, we'll have to go with Duck Boxing or Lost and Found. And Lost and Found is definitely doing video games, and Duck Boxing is doing travel and outdoors. But I'm willing to throw us into Sezzy Streamer if you guys want to do Sezzy Streamer. I watch Sezzy Streamer, so I'm not going to be weird about it. Like, I don't know. Ladies be hot, you know? I don't know what to tell you. Ladies be hot. Like, sometimes I'm just staring at the screen, I'm like, that's a nice shirt. Oh, shit. Yeah, let's go fuck with a bitch. And it was a mirror. I wish. Here we go. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow I won't be too tired. And we're not going to do something serious. We'll just joke about. Have some fun.